These are kettlebell-hanging band curls. Now you can see I've got one end of the bands looped around a bar set in the rack. You can use anything, doesn't have to be in the rack, anything that's high enough that you can loop the band ends around. Then you're going to put the bands through the handles of kettlebells. And if you don't have kettlebells, you can actually put them through the center holes of weight plates. Now, then you're going to face away and basically curl up the bands. You can also see I'm using a pair of fat grips as band handles. There's a lot of optional things for this. The band handles are optional. You can just grip right onto the bands as well. Essentially, the kettlebells hanging from the bands give you stretch and give you tension at the start of the movement. Normally when you're doing band curls, you don't get much at the start, and this completely eliminates that. So you can see at the bottom how I'm stepping forward, letting the arms kind of pull back behind the body like an incline curl, then start the curl from there, and you get tension immediately on the biceps at the start there. Then as you curl up, the kettlebells lift up, and you actually get really good tension all the way into the top position of the exercise. This one is actually really a monster on the biceps because of this continuous loading and continuous tension you're putting on the biceps all the way up into the top position. In terms of weight, I'm using a pair of 30-pound kettlebells here. That's about the best level to start with. This is the opposite. So here I'm facing in towards the bands and focusing more on the contracted position. So you can see I'm curling the bands basically up towards my face. So I'm getting the majority of the tension as I'm bringing the hands right up in towards the face. And this focuses on the contracted position. So the way I worked it was one set basically as hard as I could go facing away, and then turned around after a rest, of course, and then one set facing in towards, really focusing on activating the biceps and getting a really strong contraction here on this variation. So I'll show you a close-up of the setup that I'm using here. But again, if you don't have kettlebells, you can also use weight plates in the middle, and you don't necessarily need the fat grips for handles if you don't want to, if you don't have them. This one is basically you do your entire bicep workout, just these two exercises, these two methods, and you're all done because your biceps will be done. So here's a close-up view. I've got the fat grips. I'm basically just putting the bands inside the fat grips rather than putting the fat grips around a bar. Then I push those through the handle of the kettlebells and we're all set.